Thick mangrove forests once lined Burma's coastline. Acting as a buffer between land and sea, the mangroves protect the banks from erosion. Mangroves are also a vital part of river ecosystems. The long roots provide shelter for breeding fish, shrimp and crabs. And silt builds up against the mangrove roots, making them a natural barrier against flooding and storm surges. But the mangrove forests are disappearing at an alarming rate. In the Irrawaddy Delta, half of all mangroves have been destroyed. Ong Win and his team have been cutting down wood in Ni Thong mangrove forest for the past 5 years. They used to be fishermen, but ironically, due to the destruction of the mangroves, fish levels dropped in the estuary. The team now sell the cuttings for firewood. More than 80% of residents in Rangoon use firewood for charcoal and cooking. Mangrove forests like this one supply that demand. Farmer Latte knows mangrove conservation is important, but says local communities rely on the mangroves for firewood and income. Forestry experts agree that conservation of mangroves will be impossible until the government supplies an alternative energy source. But the biggest threat to mangroves is from large-scale coastal development, an increase in silt from upstream deforestation, and clearing huge areas for rice production. 40 years ago, there used to be 1.7 million acres of mangrove in Burma. Now, only 700,000 acres remain. And the result of mangroves being destroyed has been disastrous. On the 2nd of May 2008, Cyclone Nargis devastated Burma's Irrawaddy Delta region. 140,000 people died, and at least 2 million people were left homeless. Experts say if the mangrove forest hadn't been destroyed, the damage done by Cyclone Nargis wouldn't have been as great. There are efforts to conserve the mangroves. In Arakan State, Project Clean is educating local communities about mangrove conservation.
The community
As climate change forces sea levels to rise, coastal communities will be at greater risk from flooding and storms. Wide-scale conservation efforts backed by the government are needed to turn things around.